Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures,
the podcast that fuels your passion for obstacle course racing, running, and adventure.
Since 2017, we have released weekly episodes for the seasoned pros,
weekend warriors, and everything in between.
We discuss the industry news, travel for live coverage,
and interview athletes and key voices in the athletic community.
We cover it all, from fundraising events, personal trials,
to world records, FKTs, and world championships.
Standing on the corner.
Now let's get started with your hosts.
Lost all my clothes.
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. And how was your weekend?
Not great. I was sick, so I feel bad we didn't really do much this weekend, but took Lucy in the trails. She had a good time.
I did take her in the trails. You are correct. Yeah, no, it was fun.
I could have taken her on the trails. I decided to run instead, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, she's doing a lot of adventures, so she's loving that.
Is she? She hates her harness. So if anybody has a good harness recommendation,
yeah,
she's like afraid of it almost.
It's weird. We thought it was like a game at first, and then not so much. But we did get her like a floaty harness thing for if we go swimming.
A
with her.
life vest.
Yeah. Yep. That. Give a shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear. Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase, and Caterpie. Use code OCR Report 20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase.
Perfect. It's not the first episode of the month yet, so we will thank the $5+ patron supporters.
Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Bradley Keela, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory, Brent George, Logan Nagel, Seth Runderknecht, Steve Bacon, Robert Landman, and Jules Estes.
Yes, thank you guys so much for the support. We greatly appreciate it. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks,
the Podfather. Check it out over at theocrreport.com. We just spent some time with Jason. He was in Boston, so we got to hang out with him on Monday.
Yeah, we took him to the Cop Slide.
Yeah, the Cop Slide in the North End to get some Italian food.
Mike's
to get a cannoli, obviously. Oh, he got a lobster tail.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunately still in our fridge, because I think he only had a couple bites.
No, he like more than half of it.
Did he? Okay, those things are huge. If you don't know what a lobster tail is, like the pastry version of it.
And then we brought him to Bell in Hand, which is like the oldest consecutively running bar in Boston.
Yep. And then it was like really loud. And he's like, I don't know any of these songs. I'm like, okay. So then we walked around like
Faneuil Hall. How dare he not know any of those songs? Well, I guess he is like, that was like college music.
Yeah. So it was a good time.
He's a fun time.
He is. And to our sponsored athletes, we have an adjustment here. Caitlin?
Kelly Sullivan, Joshua Reed, Kevin Gregory, and Joe Rucco.
Yeah, we added Joe Rucco. Removed some other athletes that haven't been doing anything in the past like year or two.
They're like inactive in the sport, which is fine.
Yeah, so we were going to add another 2 to replace them, and I'm like, we haven't had enough time. Like
you're like, hard
enough time like figuring out the updates and like updating all those per week, because we haven't done that in a long time, so we're going to try to get better with that. It'll be easier with 4 instead of 5 people.
Yeah.
And these are 4 people that we know pretty well, and we think that they're great members of the community. Poll results. I don't think we did a poll.
Nope.
Meme. It's
in there. Go ahead. I found it, so Mike has to describe it.
Okay, first it's coming up with a video of VJ Jones. I don't imagine that's it.
Here.
Let me click it again to see. Oh, okay. Okay, so it is... How am I going to describe this? On the left half, it says, runners thinking about their toughest long run. And on the right, there's 3 panels. And they're all Michael Scott. And the first one says, that one makes me think of death. It's kind of nice. So, yeah.
Did you not think that was a good meme?
That's okay, yeah.
You don't like it?
That's not the... I don't know. I didn't know what quote it was going to be.
Okay, never mind.
That's okay. Thank you for finding one, at least. You also found a badass of the week, though. Tell me about Margie.
I did. So Margie is 90 years old, and she's training for her first ever High Rocks in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
So, Margie measured out 0.35 miles from her front door, and she walks and runs to that place and back and takes a 5-minute break and then does it again. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, shout out to Margie. You're an inspiration. That's pretty
Margie's
awesome.
running her first High Rocks with somebody named Becky. So
Becky, what's the last name came up?
Becky Hennessy.
Cool. Oh, so she doing doubles?
Yes.
That's the way to do it.
Look at her.
That's the way to do it, Margie.
She's such a little cutie patootie old lady.
Yeah, we love.
Look at her doing her.
Love the old ladies.
Her squats.
Those are lunges.
Her lunges with her weights.
Mm-hmm.
So cute. Wait, does Hyrox do the age thing like Deca does the age thing where it's like combined?
I don't think no. I think Deca does that version better, to my knowledge. But we're going to stay with the theme with Hyrox as we get into quick news, starting with Anthony Bryan, previous guest on the show. Here we go.
He posted that he's officially a Puma athlete. He says, I'm incredibly proud to announce that I'm officially joining Puma training as part of this Puma Project Podium. So then he goes on to say, from being told as a child that I may never run or be active again, to becoming a Guinness World Record holder, standing on the Hyrox World Championship podium, and now becoming a Puma athlete.
Yeah, congratulations to him.
Amazing.
I actually reached out to him and said that he was like, obviously an inspiration to me. And like, whenever I was struggling through some of the course, I'm like, hey, someone with control of half of their body is doing it, so like I can do it. So
that's true.
Yeah, you're awesome, dude. Congratulations. Next up, we have some news about some privacy laws, which may be changing the search with your selfie. You know how they had that thing? I always thought that was kind of weird.
Like the face recognition?
Yes. Yep.
So Hybrid Media Fitness.
Nope.
Hybrid Fitness Media
Yep.
posted new privacy laws could end search by selfie for event photos. The technology has been used for the past decade to sort through large volumes of race photos. Pending legislation could restrict or eliminate its use.
Yeah, and I typically don't care about my pictures anymore, but that doesn't...
I just saw something on Facebook it was like Spartan headbands on your forehead. You're like giving permission to be part of like the AI face generation, that thing.
Yep, okay.
But if you're wearing it like around your neck or on your wrist, then like that's you not consenting.
Oh, no, I did not know that.
I didn't dream that. I would not have made that up. I don't think about stuff like that.
No, because that makes sense too. But yeah, I think that's interesting. I did use it after I did the Deca and I looked at the pictures and I'm like, No,
World Stuff is Smarter, I did that with like the Sportograph.
I feel bad that you didn't get the World Stuff Smarter pictures because you had Jack. You had your own kind of personal photographer.
Right, but I'm sure they had photos that I
would have bought those for you. I didn't even think of it.
Can I still find them, do you think?
Maybe. Probably. They want to make that money. Next up, we have some unfortunate news coming to us from Molly.
Posted Nala.
Molly Crowley.
Nala, is that how you say it?
Yes, Nala.
Nala. Words can't describe how much you mean to me, so I won't even try. Thank you for being the most perfect best friend I could ever ask for. I love you more than I can say and will forever cherish the adventures we went on. Life won't be the same without you. Oh.
Yeah, it's just, I love you forever. And now being a dog owner, it's more than just words. That's kind of heartbreaking. So.
Does it make you a little like misty-eyed?
No. I mean, I'm an emotional rock, but it was that. Also, 2027 is the year of the sun. Okay, what don't you like about it?
It's not an animal.
That's true. I mean, they never said it had to be
Every year is the year of the sun.
Yeah.
If the sun's not shining, then we're gonna die.
It's true.
You know what we should be? The year of the moon. Like, come on.
That's 2029.
Spartan post, your legacy rises. Every year, a new symbol earns its place on the shield. In 2027, it's the sun. Sacred to Apollo Helios, the sun was never the loudest force in the battlefield. It didn't need to be. It simply rose every single day, regardless of storms, setbacks, or shifting ground. To Spartan, that is the consistency. That kind of consistency was the ultimate proof of strength.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think, I don't care about the year of whatever anymore. The one I was super excited for was
the wolf.
The wolf. And what did they do with it? Nothing.
Right, but like in France, people were buying the wolf keychains. What are people going to do? Buy a sun keychain and put a friggin' sunglasses on it and slap a smile on it?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. I liked it when the wolf was, like the animal, whatever, it was on the metal. I don't have any examples that I can see in the room because they're all tucked away in the closet there. It's kind of a non-story, but a lot of people talking about it, so I felt like I had to talk about it.
I just feel like they need to keep the category consistent with animals.
Fair.
Do you know how many animals there are?
It's definitely has people talking. There's a lot of animals out there. Yeah.
I've not been fired up about something like this in a long time.
I think they're trying to keep it related to like Sparta and Greece. So I think that might be that aspect of it too. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is Greece the only place that sees the sun?
Helios and all that stuff? Like, yeah. I don't know. It's what it is. Also, you kind of walked me to this. I don't know if you saw that this was an update, but I love this.
Deca Europe posted, our community is built on dedication, resilience, and the athletes who show us how it's done year after year. To honor the incredible masters defining our sport, we are thrilled to officially introduce our newest adult age group team category, 140 plus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So do you want to talk about how like the age category works for DECA?
So you add the two ages together, and that's how it works.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's
so
brilliant.
that's like two 70-year-olds.
Yes. Or like a 50-year-old and a 90-year-old. Or did I mess that one up? No.
No, that's 140.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's super cool.
And a 100-year-old and a 40-year-old.
And now I can just picture like just awesome teams.
Are you gonna? I thought you were gonna try to age match people. That'd be a terrible idea.
Well, I know that there's a lot of people from Underdog that like to team up with like super like older athletes and just like see what they can do for like, I don't know. I think it's super fun that they can do that. This is a news story. I want to know if you recognize who this athlete is, not to put you on blast. You can read the news story. The athlete is the guy, the boy.
Lizzie Legime
is who posted it.
Iceland was perfect, and so is this moment. This trip was meant to celebrate 4 years together, to reflect back and celebrate the relationship that we've built. It's the thing that I am most proud of in this world. The safety, patience, trust, and care we have intentionally put into our relationship is what makes it special. I never knew it was possible, and I am so grateful for a relationship that is centered around helping each other grow.
So if you notice, he's not a contributor on the post.
I have no idea who this is.
Not into social media. Sean Roberts.
Oh.
Yeah, so congratulations to him. It took me a while too. I'm like, is that Sean Roberts? 0% chance he's listening to this. But I just want to say congratulations to him. I've always been a pretty big fan of him. I think he's pretty cool. And yeah, excited for him. We have some news. Oh, going back to Underdog real quick.
Underdog posted, recovery you're avoiding is the breakthrough you need. Underdog recovery and wellness coming soon.
Yeah, so that's something that they're working on. I also saw a post that sometimes I forget like what these athletes do for their full-time job. Do you know what Joe Recco does?
He's like an engineer.
Yes, yeah. So he like did a mock-up of like what the facility is going to look like.
Oh.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, he went to WPI.
That's where Zelly worked.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
But when I see this logo, it makes me think that they're like a heating and air conditioning company.
Fire and ice. Well, yeah, it's sauna and ice baths. I told him I'm gonna have a blast on the ice bath.
But he gives the dog a cool mohawk.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Finley, right?
Finley's got some cool hair there. Yeah, love it. Going back to Spartan, there's some unfortunate news concerning their Spartan Hawaii Trifecta weekend.
Spartan emailed, Mother Nature is throwing an obstacle our way that we can't jump over, crawl under, or spear throw our way out of. Due to an incoming tropical storm, for safety of our racers, volunteers, and staff, we must officially cancel this week's Spartan Hawaii Trifecta.
Yeah, so I'm the first one to call out Spartan if they do something wrong. They made the right call here. Hot take. So yeah, it's a bummer for everyone that booked tickets there. I hope that they still got to enjoy Hawaii despite the storm and everything. But yeah, that's a thing. Want to shout out an event that we plan to go to, assuming we'll be free.
Doggy Dash 2026 benefiting needs, calling all furry friends and their humans. This isn't your typical obstacle course. It's a canine carnival of fun.
And the date is October 24th.
Are we gonna bring Lucy?
That's my plan. Yeah.
Okay. She's gonna be on the ground the whole time.
She's gonna have to learn. She's gonna have to learn. And then I believe this is my last news story. Talking about the Ocean State Ultra.
They posted, hi everyone, we are looking for volunteers for the Ocean State Ultra on August 29th to 30th in West Greenwich. We are in needs of volunteers to help along the course and at aid stations. All volunteers will receive a free entry to one future Ocean State Trail event of your choosing, including any of the fit races.
Yeah. So this is posted by, actually, Sarah Hammond.
I don't know who that is.
Me either. But the person that owns the Ocean State Ultra also owns Fit Challenge now. So I wanted to give a shout out to them.
We are very busy that weekend.
Which one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. I'm excited. I completely forgot how exciting that weekend's going to be. That's a lot of news stories compared to last episode, but now we're going to get to, 5 secret links. Go check those out down below. But let's get to what this episode is all about. So a little bit more World Toughest Mudder coverage, because I love that event and I can't help myself. Jeffery Lippert has been pursuing the orange jacket at World's Toughest Mudder for years, and unfortunately I didn't get to see him at all at the finish line. I don't think I got to see him during the event, or at least recognize him during the event, or at the brunch or anything. he was running. He was out there. He did 20 laps. So I feel bad that I didn't get to see him at all. So to make up for this, I invited him on for his own episode to learn more about him and his accomplishment and what it means to him. So let's get to the interview with Jeff. So we'll get started with your name and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Jeff Lippert, and I'm from small town in Michigan, Holt, Michigan, but we'll say Lansing, Michigan.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Most people should know the capital, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is a lot of people. I lived in Texas for like almost 6 years, and when I tell them I'm from Michigan, they're like, "Oh, you're from Detroit." A lot of people outside of Michigan think the capital is Detroit.
Okay. No, I guess I could see that too. That's got a lot of attention to it. Where did you live in Texas?
Yeah. Dallas, Fort Worth.
Gotcha. Okay, that's where my buddy lives. I'm going there maybe in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Jason.
Yep. I lived down there from 2015 to 2020.
Okay. What was the reason for the move up north?
So me and my wife, we wanted to start a family, and all of our we didn't have any support down there, so all of our family was back up in Michigan. So we decided right around COVID that it's going to be now or never. So we took the leap right when COVID hit.
Yeah, good call. Also, the friend, I don't know if you met Jason Dupree, but he's like the producer for the live stream. He's the one that lives in that area. So, yep. Very cool. So what's your athletic background? Like, how did you get into like fitness? Like, have you always been athletic?
So back in high school, I mean, I've always played sports. I played football through high school. I played baseball. I wrestled. And what's funny is I never really ran like in high school and stuff. I was always pretty athletic, but I used to hate running. Right? I used to absolutely hate it. And then after high school, I needed something to do. And I would occasionally run here and there. I did some 5Ks and 10Ks, half marathons. And my first ever ultra was actually 2012. A guy I worked with convinced me to do a 50K. And he told me about it a month and a half before the race. And I was like, screw it. Let's just do it. And it was definitely very, very hard. It took me 7.5 hours to finish the 50K.
Yeah, no, I bet. It's funny because having the background of, at least I can speak for football, is running is a punishment. It's not something to enjoy doing. It's something like, hey, you messed up, go do a lap. And so like it's tough to transition from like, hey, this punishment is actually a sport in itself, and you also maybe can enjoy it. So I'm sure that took some time.
Exactly, because people used to ask me like, oh, did you do cross country or track and stuff? I was like, nope, never did any of that. Just only time I ran was football drills.
Yeah.
And then in wrestling too was conditioning.
That makes sense too. So we've had athletes on from all sorts of backgrounds, but we haven't had too many athletes on talking about wrestling. What was that experience like?
So I wrestled from, what was it, like 8th grade through 11th grade. And it was, I mean, the main reason I did it was just to stay in shape over the winter for football. Yeah. It was just, I mean, huge conditioning, and definitely, it was tough workouts, especially when it's hot in the wrestling room and rolling around on the mats and stuff. So that definitely kept me in shape over the winter. So
that makes sense.
That was good.
So you take on a 50K, you suffer through it. At the finish line, your thoughts are never doing this again. I kind of like this suffering, or like what was the
Well, at that point, it was never doing it again because the crazy thing is I hurt my knee on mile 5, and basically I had to like power walk the last 26 miles. I was like, I'm gonna finish this no matter what, if it takes me 10 hours, 8 hours or whatever. And I power walked, and I would try to run occasionally through that race, and I was like, I was hurting myself more than power walking. And I was power walking pretty quick. Like I could power walk at like a 15-minute mile pace. So I was like, screw it, I'm just going to power walk. And once I finished it, I was like, I'm going to take a break for a while. And I didn't do another like race or anything until like 2015.
Gotcha.
It was actually my first OCR race.
Okay.
And it was a Warrior Dash.
Awesome. We'll get to that in a bit. Your buddy that suckered you into the 50K, did he stay with you? Did he run it? Did he not sign up? Like, what did he do?
No, he definitely, we stayed together for maybe the first mile. And at that time, he was definitely a lot like faster than I was. And he finished like in a little over 5 hours. He was like top 5.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
I was at the at the back of the pack.
Okay. Because usually you hear the story with at least OCR. It's like, yeah, my buddy convinced me to do this thing. I show up and he wasn't there. It was just me. Like sometimes that's the case too. So fast forwarding to Warrior Dash. What was your experience like? What venue was it at?
So Warrior Dash, I lived at that time. I lived in Omaha, Nebraska. So throw back a little bit. I graduated college from Michigan State in 2013, and then 2014 in February, I got a job right out of college with the company in Omaha, Nebraska. So I lived there for about a year before I moved to Texas. And I saw it, I forgot where I saw it at, but one of my friends that I worked with convinced me. He was like, hey, let's do this. So me, her, and my wife did it. She was my girlfriend at the time. My wife now. We did the Warrior Dash all together, and there's a couple photos that I sometimes repost of my experience with Warrior Dash, and like I'm all having a great time in the mud, and we're crawling, and I'm putting up some of these and stuff in the mud, and she is. Like, you look at her face in the background, and she looks like she's absolutely disgusted. It was pretty funny.
Love that. So what I think is so appealing for, like, people getting to OCR that aren't into running is that, like, you're just kind of getting to the next obstacle. And eventually, maybe you'll find some enjoyment in the running itself. But what was that like for you? Did you enjoy the obstacles more? Did you enjoy, like, the mud? What did you love so much about Warrior Dash?
At the time, I definitely enjoyed the obstacles. Like, for me, my favorite part of OCR and everything has always been the obstacles, because I just feel like a kid, like just playing around on obstacles and everything. I mean, the monkey bars, the walls, the crawling and stuff like that. It just felt cool to do a bunch of obstacles, and then obviously the running in between.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, as a kid, obviously, as you said, like monkey bars, or there's parallel bars, there's so many things you could play with. And then as you get older, you start going on those things and you get weird looks. But like it's still enjoyable, right? Like there's still a benefit to doing that stuff. So yeah, that's definitely what attracted me to OCR. And then where did you go from Warrior Dash? Were you like starting to look for other races? Were you aware of like how much was out there?
I'm trying to think what I did after Warrior Dash. I knew I did because that's the only one I did when I lived in Nebraska. I did. I think the next one I did was when I lived in Texas. I did Conquer the Gauntlet.
Oh,
out of Dallas. So I did that a couple of years, and that was definitely a tough race. Probably the toughest obstacle on that race was like the pegboard.
Pegatron.
Probably the absolute toughest obstacle. Yeah, Pegatron was. I've actually never passed that with the couple of years I did it. Like I always that's the one obstacle out of all of them that I always failed, because it, like, depending on where it was in the race, like, I mean, your grip was just shot in trying to get all the way. I mean, it's a long pegboard too.
And it sounds like you have to go up and over, and sometimes you can kind of like monkey bar peg it through, and it just sounds very difficult. Conquer the Gauntlet's one of the few races that I have not gotten to yet. It's still technically around, but that sounds to be
I know they've changed owners and stuff, and I know they only do it, I think, once a year now.
Yeah, so I'm glad it's still around, but yeah.
Yeah, one of those smaller ones that it's definitely enjoyable for sure.
Good. So you start to do this more and more. How did you make the transition to endurance again? Because even like Conquer the Gauntlet, which is a very difficult course, unless you're doing multi-lap, it's still a relatively short course. When did you start building your mileage up?
I'm trying to think back when before I did my first, I think, endurance Tough Mudder. Actually, the first endurance Tough Mudder I did was 2018, and I think that was one of my first ultras. Well, technically it wasn't an ultra because I only did 25 miles that year, but I think that was the farthest I ran. And then once I did that, I'm like, I think that race is what kind of transitioned to me to start doing ultras. Was after that race. At the time it was the 8-hour Tough Mudder.
Okay, yeah, the toughest Mudder.
So the first one I did was 2000. It was 2018, and that was in Texas. And that race was 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. midnight to 8 a.m. That was the style they had before they transitioned over.
Yeah, I definitely miss those events too, because I saw them as perfect like gateway drugs to World's Toughest Mudder, because it's almost impossible to fathom. Yeah, I've done a Tough Mudder. Like, hey, how about 24 or 25 and a half hours of that? Like, hell no, right?
No, exactly. I definitely I'm pretty sad that Toughest is gone. I thought Toughest has always been a fun event for me. I've always had a great time at Toughest.
Yeah, and I just love running through the night. There's not many races where you can like run through the night and like I guess feel safe too, and then get to do obstacles and it's just have the community. It was a
Right.
perfect blend of everything, and
Yep.
I miss that greatly too. So
I agree.
you start to get into endurance, and I believe like 2019 was that your first Worlds?
2019, yep. Because I did Toughest in 2018, and that's when the first time I heard about Worlds, and I couldn't make it work, or I think I was a little too nervous to sign up in 2018. And then looking back, I'm actually glad I never did 2018 since it was like freezing and it was absolutely probably one of the hardest races that most people have ever done.
It's beautiful.
So I'm like, I'm glad. In 2019, I mean, it was cold. It was for sure cold. But not as cold as 2018. So 2019 was my first Worlds in Atlanta, and yeah, that race I finished with 60 miles.
That's pretty impressive. So 2018 was the first one that I participated in running, and I got my 50 miles, which I was super proud of. It kind of played to my strengths because it was so cold, and I enjoy the cold. But they also had to shut down a lot of the obstacles because they were completely frozen over and like.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Which was great. And then 2019 was the year where they kind of lost control a little bit of like the bands. And it's like, oh, do a funny band dance and you can get extra bands and then skip mileage. And that was a weird year. But and then so you love that event. What made you want to come back to it? What made you like want to hyper fixate on this event?
So that event, because when I was doing it, I remember people obviously flying past me, and that's when I saw like Chris Mendoza, Javier, Trevor. I don't know if Atkins did 2019 or not. He might have.
No.
I don't think he did because I think
he might have done teams either that year or the year before.
Okay.
'Cause I remember him as a team, and they're all like having a good time on their last lap, and I am like dying out there.
Because yeah, I think Chris Mendoza won it that year, and then I remember seeing. I don't remember. I thought I went to the brunch. Me and my wife were talking about this, and I can't remember if we ended up going to the brunch or not, or if 2021 was my first brunch. But I remember seeing the orange jacket, and at the end of the race, I'm like, "That's the goal." Right there.
Yeah.
And I was like that by the time I'm done with Tough Mudders, I was like, I'm earning myself an orange jacket. I thought it was so cool that when I got put on those jackets, I'm like, this is what I want. This is what I'm striving for. And one day I'm definitely going to hit it.
Yeah. So
that's where the goal started.
So I am an emotional rock, but 2019, after I finished and I was done with my 55 miles that year, my pit crew, I shared a pit crew with Javier, and like we made sure he got 100 miles, and I cried seeing that man cross the finish line, get 100 miles, because he said that his goal for that year, obviously 100 miles, but like every lap, tell my mother I love her. And I'm like, that was so sweet. And just to have him finish, and his mom was there and his sister was there, is like one of the highlights in OCR for me. But so yeah, you see the orange jacket exists. It's a huge goal for you. I saw a recent video of your gym, which looks incredible. You got all the bibs laid out. It's beautiful. So like, obviously this is like, it's more than just talk. Like this is something that you're all in on. So
yes.
What was the training like? I think I saw that you trained or still trained with DJ Fox too. So you're taking this seriously.
Yeah. So I didn't start training with DJ. I reached out to him in 2000 at the end of 2022 after he won Worlds in what had that been? Atmore in 2022?
I think so, yeah.
Was that Atmore? I think so. So I reached out because I remember seeing a post about or a story that he made. He was like, "Hey, I'm taking on clients," and I was like, I mean, I knew I was kind of like hit kind of a hurdle that I couldn't get over, and I was like, I need to hire a coach because I think he can help me get over this hurdle. So I reached out to him because I mean, if you flash back a little bit to 2021. In outside of Vegas and Laughlin, I hit what was it? I hit 80 miles, and then at Moore I ended up getting only 75, and I was like, what is going on here? Like I couldn't get over that. I mean, I got the silver bib, which was really cool, but I was like, I want to get more than that. And then once I reached out to him and we started to progress on the training or the running and everything, and he would give me workouts. We used Training Peaks.
Yep.
That app, and he just gives me the workouts, and I just do them. And we've progressed over the last 3 years to build up to finally accomplishing that goal this year.
Yeah, I mean that's huge, and even just the best athletes sometimes need a coach, and coaches also need a coach in turn. What was it that he did that you think was it like the structure? Were there certain workouts? Like what do you think it was to kind of break you through that?
For me, I think it was just more structure. Like there's sometimes I would get like, and the accountability too, like seeing like he's obviously being able to see all my workouts that I complete, all my runs that I complete. So he knows if I don't complete a workout or complete a run, like I know I'm going to hear from him, hey, what's going on and stuff like that. So it's the accountability factor, but also the structure of how we laid it out. We would do like certain long runs on the weekend or and then speed workouts randomly throughout the week, but we also incorporate strength training. We did a lot of legs, deadlifts, back squats and stuff. Early on, like usually over the winter, we do a lot of the heavy lifts and stuff. And then once we know we're a few months out from the race, we start transitioning over to more upper body and obstacle work to like basically fine tune to get up until race day.
Yeah, that makes sense. Someone else that obviously speaks very, very highly of you, Carlo Piscatello. Have you had many interactions with him? Is he just like a fanboy? Because he said he like picked you as like a dark horse this year.
So when I first met, I think because DJ, obviously when I started working with DJ, he started posting more about once I did certain workouts and stuff, he would kind of repost my story and stuff like that. And I think Carlo kind of caught attention of that a little bit. And I think what was the first year I met Carlo? I think it was 2023 because DJ knew I was going after that 100, and that's what we're working towards. I think I met him in the pit in 2023. He was like, I'll look out for you and everything. And that year I ended up getting – what's funny is I actually ran 100 miles, but officially I only got 85 in 2023 because of all the penalty laps and everything. And that's when the obstacles definitely took a toll on me. And that's kind of where he caught wind. Like he heard about me and he was watching me throughout the race and everything. And then over the years, he just kind of just followed along and on Facebook and Instagram. And then we've kind of chatted here and there. And he's just kind of been a fan of mine for the most part. So it was cool talking to him throughout this last year. And like he was pumped for me. He knew that how bad I wanted it, and seeing him at the finish line and stuff like that. And he actually, I asked him at the brunch to put the orange jacket on me, which was really cool.
Oh, that's great. I didn't realize. I love that. He's someone who's like, dude, you got to have him on. And I'm like, I want to have him on, but I also did a whole bunch of World's Toughest Mudder coverage. And I'm like, this is my show. I could do what the fuck I want. So yeah, I'm going to reach out to him.
Right.
And I just had like that weird realization. So he was like, you got to have him on. And then we should probably... Well, we'll get to it in a bit too, but when he saw the post of you with the orange jacket at like a formal event, I'm like, yeah, this guy lives and breathes this stuff. Like, definitely got to have him.
Yep. What's funny about too, like just going back to my training just a little bit, like I actually I built an obstacle rig in my backyard to train on over the last like 4 years. I've been training on that and like putting obstacles that I knew gave me trouble and stuff like on it, just practicing day in and day out, just. And what's funny is like some of the obstacles that used to give me trouble, I've never seen them on a course again. So I trained on them. I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah. This is stupid.
So 2020, let's see, 2024, they announced that 2025 will be in, like way in the UK. What were your thoughts into that? Because I know you didn't participate last year. Were you still like following along?
Yeah, I was definitely... I wanted to participate, but my race for that last year was the Arizona Monster 300.
Right.
So it was a 300-mile race down in southern Arizona that I did, and I knew that trip was expensive, and I knew Worlds was in June that year. I was like, I can't put in the training and the work I need and recover to be able to do it. So I was like, I followed along. Like literally, I probably watched, I don't know, 90% of the live stream.
Love
and
that.
I was definitely having huge FOMO about the race and everything. I was like, as soon as it ended and registration opened up. I was like, we're going to the UK. I told my wife, I was like, hey, we'll start saving now, but we're going to the UK. And she was all for it. Awesome. I was like, I'm making it happen. This is, I want to do it this year, and it'd be cool to do it overseas. So.
Yeah. So what was training like gearing up for the race this year?
So after Arizona Monster 300, which ended at the end of, in April, I took a little break, or I did my own thing for a little bit, and I started doing structured training again with DJ. What was it? We started in probably late July or July/August. We started like real structured training, and then we did a slow build, and then we maintained about like between 70 to 90 mile weeks. And we topped out at 100 before we obviously started tapering down. But we did it was probably about 40 plus weeks of hardcore training with DJ to get ready for the race. Between all the runs I did, the strength training, the obstacle work. And on top of that, which most people don't know, I made a post about it, but most people don't know what else I added in on, because I was so geared on the 100 miles that I told DJ, I was like, every single day until race day, I did 105 pull-ups, 105 push-ups, 105 air squats, and 105 sit-ups every single day until the right before race. I only missed a couple days because I did one other race, and there was a couple days I ended up getting sick throughout training. But I calculated I did out of all those 4 workouts, each of them I did over 36,000 times.
Jesus, that's something that
over 36,000 pull-ups.
Wow. That's something. This is, I guess, the nerdy side of me. There's a show called One Punch Man, which is just kind of a ridiculous show, but he has like a workout that's like super crazy, and it's very similar to that, like 100 push-ups, 100 this every single day, and that's how he becomes so strong. But like you made that a reality, which is crazy discipline for that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't all do it at once. Like, I did it throughout the day. There were some days that I was like, oh, I still need to get some pull-ups in or some push-ups in. So it'd be like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I would do them in my bedroom or whatever. And I actually bought, what's funny is if I had to travel for work or travel for anything, I actually bought a set of travelable like pull-up things that you just put on your door frame. And I took them, I would literally do it in my hotel room. I was so committed to doing it every single day just to hold that myself accountable. I was like, this one thing is going to give me advantage on obstacles this year. And it did for sure.
Awesome. So traveling to a different country, especially one where there's significant time zone barriers there too. How early did you travel out there? Was like things go without a hiccup? Like how did things go getting out there?
So we left. So Worlds was on obviously that Saturday. We left Wednesday night. We flew out of Detroit Wednesday night at like 6:30, and we landed in Heathrow, London at like 7 a.m. So that gave me all of Thursday and all of Friday to kind of get over any a traveler's lag or whatever, jet lag. And because we ended up, what's funny is we landed in Heathrow, and I took the whole family. I took my wife, my little one, which is 3 years old now, my sister, and then my wife's best friend. They all came along. We ended up renting 2 cars just because their cars over there are not like here. You can't just rent a big old SUV that will fit everybody. I was like, with all the baggage we have and the people we have, I was like, one car's not going to work. They don't have like minivans or anything over there, so we had to rent 2 cars.
They also wouldn't fit on the roads too, as we now know. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I noticed that when we were driving. So then we had to make the trek up north about, was it like 2.5 hours, and that was definitely fun, driving on the wrong side of the road and the wrong side of the car. So that took some time to get used to.
I bet. So I love that like so much of your family got to come out too. What were your thoughts? Because obviously, like you said, you lived in Texas for a little bit. There's a lot of heat there. Michigan, I don't imagine as much. But Friday was horrible, right? Like that the heat. Were you worried about that going into Saturday?
Friday, I was definitely, because I remember last year watching the live stream and people were definitely like, the heat was playing a factor. I was like, well, I did some heat training too throughout, just running a little bit of the sauna and stuff like that, but just running, and hottest parts of the day when I could, last fall and then leading up to the race. But I was so glad that it cooled down from Friday to Saturday, because the other thing that I wasn't aware of that, I mean, so you're so used to in the U.S. is how hard it is to get ice over there. It was like we go to every store and I'm like, this is absolutely crazy. And then the ice we did finally get, the bags are like this big. I'm like, this is not going to do anything.
Yeah. No AC, no ice. It's the out of all the things, that was the biggest culture shock for us too when we came out there.
Yes.
It's like it's impossible to stay cool. Like I'm sleeping on top of the blankets with the window open, like praying that there's going to be like a gust of wind that'll come out and like cool me off a little bit. It's I don't know. They're exposed to the elements. It made me realize, like, wow, I guess Americans were kind of soft in that way.
The no AC still blows my mind. Like, I'm like, really? I was like, it's not that expensive to just throw in like an air conditioner in your window or whatever. I was like, what? I know you're so used to it. Like, there's a heat wave every year in the UK, probably once a year, or whatever. Just have a little, or one of the ones that like rolls around, like the portable ones. I was like, that's real simple to have.
So last year was the first year that we had gone out to Europe. We went out for both our honeymoon, but also for Worlds. And we saw like a whole bunch of hotels, and it's like great for American tourists. And we kept seeing that. We're like, what the hell does that mean? It just meant that it had AC.
Oh wow, that's so funny.
And they were damn right. That was perfect for us.
That's funny.
So again, Friday, hot as balls. There's no ice. There's no AC. I'm assuming you were there for like the rules and everything, like all the prep when like everyone was like sitting out in the heat, which was also terrible because you're just exposed to the elements. What was going through your mind as you were hearing like the course review and everything?
So yeah, we actually ended up getting a seat under that big old tent that was right there. They had like that little ice cream station or whatever, the ice cream truck.
Mr. Whippy's.
The big old tent. Yeah, so we sat under there and like listening through all the obstacles. I was actually a little excited because a lot of the obstacles played into my strength about upper body stuff, like the Funky Monkey being with ropes, or I forget all the names of them, how they switch them up, but the ropes one, and then the one we're swinging, that I was excited about that one, and then the little cliffhanger one too. So I knew I was going to be, like, a lot of people are like, oh, this course is going to be hard. I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, this course is going to be fun. I was like, my grip strength and my upper body strength is definitely going to play a huge factor in completing these obstacles throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
So I got excited after hearing obstacles.
Awesome. And then your goal. So your goal was 100/105. I think I saw that like you would have had like a really cool stat if you got 105. Did you have any like?
I would have had like the 500 behind you, the 500 career World's miles. I was like 100 is for sure the goal, but I was like, if I can push the 105, I'll do it, and it'll give me 500 career World's miles.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get it.
Did you have any placement goals, or was it just like you versus the course for goals?
It was just me versus the course. Like, I knew that if I got 100, I would be up there. I would be close to contention, because obviously 100, I mean, I guess it depends on the year, but 100 pretty much guarantees you the top 10. Yeah. I knew for that. And so I told my picker, I was like, don't tell me placement, don't tell me anything. I was like, if I'll worry about placement once I know for sure that 100's intact. But it's like placement for the whole race like was out of my mind. Like I watched back some of the live stream. I was like, wow, I was in the top 5 for a majority, top 5, top 7 for a majority of the race. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I think if, like, in my mind, there's times in races where people have told me placement and it actually like had a negative effect on me because it changed how I raced. So it put more pressure on me, and I did things I shouldn't have done, or I sped up and stuff like that. So there's a lot of times like, don't tell me placement. I'll kind of know in the back of my head about where I'm at, but if you tell me straight up, then it could definitely affect me race-wise for the rest of the race.
Yeah, and there's a lot of athletes like that too. Like, some people think that they're doing it to like your benefit. Like, you're doing great. Like, second place is right there. Like, oh crap. So like I'm definitely like in third. Like, is that a thing? And then you're second guessing yourself. And also, it's one thing for a straightforward race. It's another one where it's like 24 hours. So like overthinking, your mind can really spiral out of control, and it's a mental race too. So one of my least favorite parts in participating in World's Toughest Mudder is like the hour or two before like the start shoot and everything, where it's like the calm before the storm. What do you do to like prepare yourself for this ultra?
So I usually like the morning of, I wake up kind of early and everything, in our Airbnb, and I'm just sitting there like while it's still quiet, everybody's still asleep, and just kind of focusing and stuff. I actually take a pre-workout just to clear out my system. That's like my main reason I take pre-workout. I take it early just so I don't have any GI issues throughout the day. And then we usually get to the course. I think we planned on getting there between like 9:30 and 10 because I don't like to get there too early, but I also want to have time to have everything else set up. And then once we get everything set up, I literally throw in some earbuds and like sit in a chair and just like zone out for like 20 minutes. Yep. Like I just kind of get in the zone to just play whatever music like I'm feeling. I just throw on Pandora or something. And then I just sit there with my head down and just thinking about like all my training and how far I've come, and just getting focused for once the race begins. Like, yeah, there's just a certain point that usually the family knows when I sit in the chair and put my head down that he's kind of getting in the zone there, and everybody kind of leaves me alone for a little bit until, and then I pop up and I'm like, all right, it's ready to rumble. Yeah. Let's go.
And so they did things a little bit differently, which I think I enjoyed. So it'd be good to get your take on it, where they lined up a whole bunch of the competitors on either side, and then they call like the elites through, which I thought was like a great way to, one, highlight you badasses that have done like amazing stuff in the past and are likely to do it again today, but also like it was just great to ramp things up. So what was your feeling like going through that like tunnel to the start shoot?
I think that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I didn't. Finally, I was able to get elite. I'll have elite forever now. But I ended up. I only had contender this year.
Oh,
so yeah. I've only had elite once, but now I don't have to ever worry about that again. But I think it was cool being able to line up and just see everybody slowly come through to the start. I mean, I think that was definitely cool. The UK definitely knows how to throw on an event. I give them that. Like, it was definitely really cool with everything they've done, the obstacles, and just the atmosphere in general was actually pretty amazing.
Yeah. So you're taking out the hot lap, the course starts to open up. What were your thoughts about? So you hear about the obstacles, but like the obstacles in practice, like what were you feeling that how the course was still playing to your strengths?
Yeah, I didn't end up doing like the course preview, like where people walked on the course. I never do that because I like to just stay off my feet for obviously the 24 hours before.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I realized once we started out the gate was like the first 2.5 miles was definitely, for me personally, I think was the toughest, just because that's where the most hills were. Yep. Especially like after you got off of left Mud Mile, you had that gradual hill that goes up to the walls, and then obviously you have the hill that goes up Devil's Beard.
Yep.
And then you have that big downhill. And I looked back at some of my data on the downhill. That downhill early on, I was going like 5-6 minute mile. I was hauling ass down the downhill.
And that's the stuff that can beat you up. Yeah.
I what's funny is I did that for a while, and I was like, obviously as the day went on, I slowed it down a little bit, but the downhills I definitely took advantage of. And I knew once the course, as the day went on, that the first 2 miles were going to be a struggle. And I took into account that when the second half of the course, I was like, this is where I can make up time. And that's where I did most of the day, is after I got past the first 2 miles is where I started to cruise. Like on the first, throughout the whole day, I was actually just calculating in my head, like my lap times, my mile times, to kind of see where I was at. And I was like, the first mile usually took me 15 to 17 minutes just because of the hills and stuff. And then after that, I could hold like under a 10 minute mile pace.
Yeah,
with all the obstacles too.
As you said, it's fairly flat, but they definitely front loaded the hills, which I think would be better. I'd like to get the hills out of the way first and then just kind of cruise. Also, so a issue with last year too is like there's not a lot of shade. I also feel like there's more shade this year maybe too. So like there's a big part in the middle where it's like completely sun exposure. How'd you feel like that affected you?
I think early on it definitely did, until they finally opened up some water obstacles, and then I think I was okay. I usually do pretty good in the heat. Like I run very, very hot. I mean, here in Michigan, obviously, being in Massachusetts, that it gets cold.
Yeah.
And there's times I do winter runs, and at the first mile, I'm bundled up, and then after that, I'm throwing off clothes, and it's 30 degrees, and I'm in a t-shirt because I'm sweating.
Yep.
So I run really hot. So it kind of played to my advantage when it comes to that. I felt pretty good. I mean, I used an ice bandana too throughout the first probably 8 hours of the day. I mean, there wasn't much. I had the little bit of ice we did have that I used. I used that, and I felt good for all through the day and until the sun went down.
So obviously a lot of planning goes into this. Did you have it laid out of hey, each lap needs to be around in this range in order for me to eventually get 100 miles? What went into the planning for that?
So I know from obviously it's true for about 95% of the people that hit it, or obviously just in general, that by 10 p.m. you have to be halfway to your goal.
Yep.
And I knew that I was aiming for 50 miles by 10 p.m. I was like, I need to hit 50 miles by 10 p.m. Because every other race I've ever, every other Worlds I've done, I look back at it, and at 10 p.m., basically that was half my total. So I was like, this is pretty accurate. So what's funny is I hit 50 miles at 10:15. I was like, I knew I was a tad bit behind it, but I was like, I'm right there. I got basically 15 and a half hours, just under 15 and a half hours to complete 10 more laps. So I knew that once I hit that, I was like, all right, I'm right there. I mean, I just need to make sure I don't slow down too much, but I'm right there, and this is definitely achievable.
Yeah.
So it gave me some excitement once I hit that halfway point. Knew that I was on target to hit the goal.
And that's the cool thing about that 10 p.m. trick is that it works for everybody too. Most people, as long as you're keeping a steady pace, if you're slow and steady, it works. If you're fast and steady, it works. Huge recommendation that people use that to kind of help figure out their goals too. What was your plans for nutrition, and did you have to change things at all? What were you typically using for your fueling?
So typically for ultras or just Worlds in general, my main nutrition, I use Endurelite on the course. I have a little small water bottle that I have on my hip. Every lap I throw a scoop of there, and then during my pit, I was taking a scoop of Tailwind in a water bottle. I also got some Gatorade tablets just to make sure I was getting electrolytes. I took that every lap, and then since they don't have Encrustables over there, which I was like, I have to kind of makeshift this. What's funny is I ended up bringing a jar of Jif with me because I didn't know how their peanut butter tasted over there.
Not good.
So I brought a jar of Jif, and then we brought I bought jelly at the store, which is actually pretty good, to be honest. And then I just made my own Encrustables. So I was eating those as much as I could, and eventually I started to get sick of it. And then overnight, my wife actually she went back to our Airbnb and she made a pizza. So I ate a slice of pizza every lap overnight. And then I had gels halfway through each lap.
Yeah.
So that's my main thing is just talking with DJ. The main thing was hey, it becomes an eating contest.
It does.
We've always talked about that. It's you have to take in the calories, no matter what. So, I mean, they were forcing, they're you have to eat. And so they were literally, I come in and I'm just forcing food down my mouth and then getting out of there.
That's one of the couple things. That's one of the issues that my wife had when she ran Worlds last year for the first time, is that she trained with Tailwind, but she's never had warm Tailwind, which with a lack of ice, everything was kind of warm and gross. And so she told me months later, she was dumping it all out. So.
Oh, really?
That definitely, but she's like, I dumped all that out every lap. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I sent you with this every single time. Yeah, so that bothered me. Also, with the peanut butter, their peanut butter is so, I guess, not desirable that Fran Curenda, who does the live stream and everything, she asked for us to bring peanut butter. So we went to Costco and got a big jar for her. So. But their
Nice.
their jelly's good. But yeah, the peanut butter.
Yeah, their jelly was good. I was definitely impressed with their jelly. So.
Yeah, so good. So shout out, who were your pit crew? You said it was your family, right?
So yep, my wife, she's been my OG pit crew since 2019, and she's been at every Worlds with me. And then I brought my sister on back in 2021, and she's been at every World since 2021. And then this year, to help out with our kiddo, was my wife's best friend. She came along to the trip too.
That's great. So
I always everybody.
I always look for this opportunity to prove Will Hicks wrong, but he is very vocal about never let your significant other pit crew for you, because like if you want to quit, they'll let you quit. Blah blah blah. How did you like find that balance? Like what were they instructed to do to like keep pushing you out there and everything? How did you find that to work out?
Yeah, like I mean, I've had my wife's been my pit crew since 2019, and I mean, there was a time in that race that I thought about quitting when I got so cold, but she actually was the one that pushed me back out for extra laps in the morning. Awesome. So over the years, I've never been worried about that. They know kind of what my goals are and what I can accomplish, and they know when to step in if something's seriously like really, really wrong, that, hey, you definitely need to like dial it back, or like, hey, it's time to quit. But they've never they've always pushed me back out. Like they try to get me through the pit as quick as possible. I mean, when I sent you that data, that this was the most efficient I've ever been in the pit, and I was actually surprised myself how efficient we were. Like they knew that I had to be fast and I had to just always be on course. So they're like, I mean, they were pushing me out of there, like, grab and go, let's go, let's get out of here. So they knew what they needed to do.
Yeah, so you sent some of this data, which I thought was very cool. Not only that, I sent it to the OCR report for like, hey, this is stuff that should be used for next year for like visuals to kind of go over like strategies and what's into pit times. Because I think everybody that was, when it came to talking about elite pit times, everyone was talking about Das, because you could see Becky and Pip just taking excellent care of them. He would sit down, they'd be like zip, 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 like a NASCAR. But like looking at this data, so average pit stop times, like your average was 1 minute 56 seconds, which is crazy to think of, keeping that low. Next to that, I see Pontus Diamond, who I'm not as familiar with 2 minutes 26 seconds. But then Das got 2 minutes 39 seconds. So not a big difference, but like it does add up over time. What did you do to like keep your pit times so short?
So as soon as I crossed the finish line, I would go, like, obviously early on, all I did was I ran to my pit. They gave me like my bottles and my makeshift Uncrustable, and then we left. Like I grabbed and go. I didn't sit there and talk. I didn't say, hey, how am I feeling or nothing. I mean, they'd ask me real quick, how you feeling and stuff like that. But like there was no long conversations. Like we made sure we're most efficient as possible to just grab and go. And like I grabbed it and I would walk towards the start line, since there's always that gap. Like if that gap is what gives you like the most, like, is a majority of your time in the pit. It's like the gap from the finish to the start. So I just grabbed and just walked to the finish, or walked to the start, threw it in the trash, and then I was on my way. So I just tried to not stand still, like, at all.
Yeah, I mean the pit
came to that.
The pit is a trap. But that being said, like it's easier said than done to like do all that. I'm just impressed that you were able to keep it that steady with that, even to the point where when I was with, we traveled to France after to cover Morzine, and we went with Josh Fiore, and we were on the plane like doing the math of like how quick everyone's pits were, this and that. It's so impressive to see people that are able to keep it that low, because every minute that you spend in the pit is less time that you can be on the course. And so when you're able to keep it low, it's still like a decent amount. Like I think you had, where is it? For you, it was only 36 minutes. Yeah, 36 minutes.
Yeah, if you look at mine was 36, and in Das, I mean, obviously he still hit 150 miles, but his was like 56 or 58 minutes.
58
minutes.
That's
a 20-minute difference.
Right.
It's crazy.
So that's huge, and for some people, like that could be a whole extra lap. So that's something that, especially like the newbies, the first timers out there, like really get the hell out of that pit. Try to do the quick pit as much as you can, especially since you don't, knock on wood, most people won't need wetsuits, especially now that it's super hot over there. But we'll see how it is next year. But yeah, I just want to commend you on that.
I've never, like, the only time I've ever put on a wetsuit is 2019.
Yep.
Every other year, I might throw on a couple extra layers, but I never have a wetsuit on. Like this year, I didn't change one thing. I wore the exact same thing the entire race. Awesome. And like I never changed my shoes either. Like at shoes or socks, I stay in the exact same because it eats up too much time to take off your shoes.
It does.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm so used to now running with like a few rocks or whatever in my shoes that it doesn't even bother me during course.
Yeah, we'll get into shoe changes in a bit, but yeah, I see people like take off their shoes and take off their socks. It's like you're gonna get wet again very shortly, right? Like wet and muddy. Like
Yes.
it doesn't make sense to change those unless something is like really really wrong. Then like have a backup pair.
Right.
But yeah, I see people like really taking too good care of their feet. And it's like yeah, just keep moving. You're gonna be hurting no matter what.
Right.
So on the course, what were some of your favorite obstacles and least favorite obstacles? What were you looking forward to? What were you dreading out on the course?
Well, let's go least favorite. The absolutely least favorite. There's two of them.
Okay.
Mud Mile
Yep.
is absolutely horrible. That obstacle sucked just because how big the mounds were and everything. And then the other one was I forgot, 3 times a charm or whatever it was called.
Oh, the carry.
That one-
Yeah.
the carry was stupid. And like piggybacking off the carry, the one thing that I've over the years that has just like grind my gears about Tough Mudder is like the carries, they're not included in the overall mileage.
Right.
Which I like, it's like the obstacle, like, all right, let it be part of the obstacle, because if you do all the carries and stuff, like you're adding multiple miles onto your actual overall mile, like that's not counted. So I'm like I knew that was just going to be like, that's the one I hated the most. Luckily I never had to do Kill a Gorilla.
Yep.
I didn't have to do it. But my favorite one probably was I liked the Funky Monkey altered version with the ropes.
Okay.
And then the cliffhanger one, which was cool.
It was kind of like a rock climbing style, but I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
neat to
you
see.
had like the different like the grips or like the holes and the 2x4s and then in the inverted wall. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So going to Mud Mile, it was wild that it just did not wear away. Typically, all people like, hey, everyone, stay on the right side. We'll wear that down over time. Nope, it didn't.
Right?
So a lot of people.
It stayed pretty intact, which I was very disappointed in. I was after the first couple times, like a couple people I looked next to me, I was like, this will get easier throughout the night. Nope.
No, it did not. It was rough. And there was just so many of them too. Like I'm
Yes.
glad I didn't have to do that. And then with the carry, I've definitely had the same thought as you for a while, and I've gone back and forth with it only because now that they have like the obstacle bypass band, if you were to skip the carry, you would skip part of the course and you'd get less than 5 miles. So that's the only thing. I don't know the best way to do that because you're absolutely right.
I think that
yeah.
they have to incorporate like the because obviously this year, obviously if you missed the carry or if you skipped it, it was not. But if they incorporate it somehow within the course that you still did that part of the course, like, but the way you skipped it was you'd have to do the carry or something.
Right.
I just think they need to come up with something that they don't add extra miles onto somebody that like anybody that is not meant to like part of the course. That was definitely my biggest grievance.
This was one of the longer carries that I think I've seen at Worlds, and it's not like doing it once is like a half mile, but like you do it a bunch of times, that is actual mileage adding up. So you're absolutely right, especially for you elite guys that are doing it.
Yeah,
many
I added
times.
it up. It took me the first. I did it like I did that carry twice or 3 times, and each time it took me. I timed it because I was curious because I wanted to see. Obviously, as the night go on, and once we start getting into talking about bands, how long the obstacles take. That obstacle took me like 7-8 minutes.
Yeah, that's crazy to think of too, because I was hearing like some of the slower people were like, yeah, 13-15 minutes, like that's a lot. And I always like to like,
that's a long time.
Yeah, to keep my ear on the course and just see like what the overall grievances. And they were like mixed. A lot of people talk about Mud Mile, and then when the carry opened up, every single person was like, that carry is ruining me. It's just ruining me. So I am glad that they pivoted and they got rid of the sandbag, because it was sandbag,
yes,
chain, sandbag, and it was like a quadruple loop. That's a lot. So I'm glad that they pivoted and made that change.
It was rough.
Yeah. So where were you using your bands for the most part?
So bands for the most part were on that carry.
Yeah.
So I didn't use I went. let's see, when did I use my first band? I think I made it 50 miles, 55 miles before I used my first band because I wanted to obviously get a bunch of them before I started using them. And then I started using them on that carry because the obstacles, I mean, obviously they weren't, for me, they weren't hard. It wasn't about difficulty. It was about what was taking the most amount of time.
Gotcha.
I knew time was going to be, time was the biggest factor in this race on like, where can I make up time with obstacles? Like, and the carry was the biggest one that I used most of my bands on. And then once when Kill a Gorilla, I passed that only a couple times before they didn't open it up till 4 a.m. and then they closed it. I think like 8 or 9, and I only passed it a couple times. I used one of my bands each lap on that because I heard that Kill a Gorilla was probably a half a mile long.
Okay.
What I was told. So I passed that and did the carry instead. I was like, I'm not doing both of them, so I was gonna pick one of them to do. And by the time the carry was just the chain, so obviously it didn't take as much time. But I was like, I'm not adding even more mileage by doing Kill a Gorilla. So I did most of my bands with that. I used one band. Majority of my bands were that. Then another band I used was during Morning Glory. We had to do a couple of the obstacles twice. The Funky Monkey one I passed the first time, and then having to redo it, I slipped on the ropes. I ended up just doing I ended up giving my band, but then I realized the penalty. I was like, man, I should have just did the penalty because it wouldn't have took that long to do. And then towards the end of the day, like my last like 2 laps, I used it on Mud Mile. I used the band on Mud because then I had enough to use. By the time my last couple laps, I was using 2 or 3 bands each lap.
That's awesome.
So I started using them on Mud Mile too.
So one of the things that I am most surprised by, and I still don't fully understand it, so you gave me a little bit more, I guess, information there, is that, as media, we were given like a whole bunch of behind the scenes look of like when all the obstacles would open, and it said like mystery obstacle, and it said never, like it wasn't supposed to open. So when I started hearing people saying Killer Gorilla's open, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like there is no mystery obstacle. That's the whole thing. It's supposed to be a mental thing. And then they're like, no, it's actually open. Where was it? Because I walked the course a few times, and I guess I never saw it.
So it was where was it? I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I know.
I can picture it in my head where it was. I'm trying to think the obstacle that was after.
But it definitely wasn't in the usual spot last year.
Oh, it was right. It was right before Everest. It was right before Everest.
Okay.
There was like a gap, like you had Everest up here, and then you had Kill a Gorilla before it. Yeah, it was right around there.
No way. Okay, that's funny because we even did a lap with Giles at, I think it was like 8 o'clock at night too, and he never brought it up or anything too. So I was
really
I was really surprised that they opened it up last time. He had a big like the Grinch style grin going on when that was opened up, but he didn't talk much about it this year. So I was surprised that opened up. But yeah, it's good to know that it wasn't until like much later. So that makes more sense.
Yeah.
So okay, unfortunately I missed it, obviously it being at the finish line. But what was it like crossing that finish line, knowing that you had finally achieved 100 miles, but you've been going towards for a while?
That was probably one of the most emotional finish lines that I've had in a long time. I mean, I was pretty emotional when I did my race in Arizona, just because it was the longest I ever ran. But finally crossing that finish line and knowing that I finally hit 100 miles, the pictures show like I was literally on my knees. Like definitely, I had tears coming down my eyes as I crossed the finish line, just because it meant so much to me to hit that goal. Like it was all the thousands upon thousands of miles that I've ran over the last 6 years to finally accomplishment. Just it was amazing, and especially and then my family and my daughter being there too. Like it was definitely a moment that I've dreamed of and finally was able to make it into a reality. Like it was amazing, to say the least.
I mean, there's that saying for marathons, like it's not 26.2 miles, it's the last 26.2 miles. That's all the training that goes behind it. But when you think of an ultra, it's hundreds and thousands of miles that go into it for it to all come down to that race day. And, people say it's a celebration of fitness. It's like the final victory lap is the event itself. So yeah, that's got to feel pretty amazing finally achieving the 100 miles.
Yeah, I knew like as the sun came up, which it was crazy. That was wild to me that the sun comes up over there. You start seeing sun at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
But like I knew that I was on target. And my last couple laps, I was like, all right. Like I knew I slowed down a little bit. And I was like, I know I gave myself a lot of wiggle room. And like my second to last lap, were my two last laps were my two slowest laps. They were like an hour 40, both of them. But my second to last lap, I was like at mile 4, and I started to get emotional. Then I was like, all right, this is gonna happen. I was like, I didn't want to get too excited. Like
Right.
on that, I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm gonna make this. Like I can't believe it. I'm actually gonna do it. After this lap, I got five more miles to go. And as I was coming into that my second to last lap, I saw Carlo, and I just put up like this. I was like, one more. I was just so pumped, and I was like, yes. And then I used that last lap as like a victory lap. I walked a lot of it just because I knew I was there, and I knew placement wise, I was where I was. I was between like 5 and 7, and I was just enjoying it. Like I walked a lot of it with Austin, which was cool.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool, and I was just enjoying the last lap, like thanking volunteers and thanking people on obstacles and just having fun the last lap. So that was definitely a fun spot to be in, being able to enjoy the last lap.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too, because like one of my favorite things about World's Toughest Mudder is that I'm like a Joe Schmo that's sharing the course with like Chris Mendoza or Rare Coble back in the day, like these awesome athletes. And just I get to spend like maybe 15 seconds with them before they pass me, but like getting to talk to them.
Yeah.
But like as an elite, like you get to see everybody multiple times. So it's cool that you got to spend some time with like some athletes like Austin Azar. Were there any other athletes that like stuck out to you that you like were chatting with on the way, but like while you're racing? Like that's hard but finding that balance.
So I mean, I've been friends with online, and then obviously seeing him on course and stuff. Joe Rutko, we've had a lot of conversations and stuff. So seeing him, it was very unfortunate. Obviously, he injured himself, but I got to spend some miles with him, which was cool. And then it was awesome being able to help so many people up Everest, because that was definitely tough. And another person I spent a little bit of miles with, we actually were going back and forth the whole entire race, was Craig Derbyshire.
Okay. Yep.
He was number 6. Me and him were going, like, we were running together. I'd pass him for a little bit. He passed me like all night. After the race, and I watched the live stream and stuff. Literally, we were trading 5th and 6th place like all night long, which I thought was funny. And we spent a lot of time together. And he actually, his goal was 100 miles, and I'm so glad he got it, because a couple times throughout the night, he almost dropped out of the race because he was definitely hurting and stuff. So I told him, he was like, I don't know if I can make it. I was like, dude, you're going to regret it if you don't. If you're on track right now, we're both on track, and we're going to hit that 100 miles. And I told him that I was like, if you end up with 90 miles and you could have hit 100, like, you're going to regret it. I guarantee you're going to regret it. So I think that definitely helped push him to hit that 100 for sure.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're at the brunch, you're getting your orange jacket. How's it feel to get that exquisite cloth on you?
Oh, that was so cool. Like being able to share like the orange jacket ceremony with the top guys that have got multiple orange jackets, like Austin and Chris and Grant. That was definitely cool. Like that was such a cool experience. And I knew once I got him, like, oh, this is the holy grail that I've wanted from Tough Mudder for so long. Because I don't know the exact number, because people have asked me, like, oh, that's really cool, you got 100 miles and stuff. Like how rare is that? And like the exact number, I think I ballparked it, just because obviously people have gotten it multiple times. But I think since Worlds began, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't know if you know the number, but I think like only like total, like not counting multiple 100 mile jackets, but say like 50, 60 people. Would that sound accurate, or is it more than that?
I will say less. I feel like there's definitely less than that.
Is it less? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm taking into account, obviously people have gotten multiple times, but I was like, I know that, I mean, the 100 Mile Jacket Club is very exclusive. I mean, you're in the top 0.1% of all the runners, like be able to hit that 100 mile mark.
If I were to spitball, I would say 25 to 30, because there's only been Chris Rogloski for the women, and I'm trying to think of all the men.
I mean, over the past couple of years, the more men have got it, but obviously
Right.
there's multiple people. Like you have Austin that has 3 or 4 now. Joe has 3. CBJ has 3. I mean, there's multiple people that have multiples. So
Yeah.
that's where I'd love to actually look back at that. And I'm really curious how many total people actually have the orange jacket.
Yeah, counting the repeats, I would be interested to see what that data is. I'll reach out to Will after this and I'll get you an answer because
Okay.
he has like extensive stats on it because it's.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see. Just curious.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I saw that you put your jacket to some good use. So what was the event? Was it like a wedding or?
So it was both. So actually, after I got the jacket, I realized it was a little big on me. So when I got home, I had to go get it tailored just to obviously fit well, just because I didn't want to look at a slob when I wore it. So I got it fitted. And the first event that I went to was a work conference up on Mackinac Island in Michigan. So went to that event. It was like a formal event that I finally got to wear the jacket at. And unfortunately, only a couple people asked me about it, which I was very disappointed on. Like I was like literally standing out. Like I work at my main job is a construction project manager for a construction company. And I look like an orange cone, like wearing it. I was like, more people need to ask me about this.
Right.
So a couple people did. And then that was on a Thursday. And then I went to my cousin's wedding on that following Saturday, and a lot of people came up to me. I was very, it was awesome. I got to wear it there, so that was really cool. I was like, I told DJ after I got it, I was like, hey, I'm wearing this to. He loved about the idea of me wearing it to the first event I could. He's like, I did the same thing. I wore it to a family member's wedding. I was like, I'm gonna wear this. So, and I told people at the brunch when I got it, I was like, I'm wearing this to the first formal event I can, or any formal events in the future. I'm gonna wear this as long as I can, and then I'll frame it. But I'm gonna get good use out of this.
It definitely looks better than it used to, too. Like with the black like collar and stuff. It looks.
I like it. Yeah,
I like it
for
too.
sure.
What did the tailor think when you brought it to them? Did they think it was like a Dumb and Dumber cosplay? Like, what did they think about the suit? Did they?
I
say
don't
anything?
know. I told her about it, but I think she was confused on what it. She asked. The funny thing is, she was like, I put it on. I walked in and I'm standing on the little step stool or whatever, and she like looks in the mirror and starts laughing. She was like, you couldn't get another size? I was like, no, this is the only size they could give me. She was like, you couldn't order another one? I was like, no, I won this. She was like, oh, okay. And then she started doing her thing. Yeah. But she was very confused just because it looked so big on me because I'm a smaller guy. And she was very confused on why I was trying to get such a big jacket tailored.
That's a good point. Really is just kind of like a one size fits all when they give them out. Actually going back to like Craig Derbyshire, who's like a little bit shorter too, like really gotta look big on him.
Right.
So you finish the race. It's awesome. Like what starts to hurt the most in terms of like your body aches and pains after the event?
My whole body obviously is just sore. Usually right after the race, I would try to obviously go back to our Airbnb. Luckily this time it was only my Airbnb was only like 10 minutes away from the venue, so I didn't have to stand that too much time in the car. Usually it's the car ride from the venue to our Airbnb usually hurts the most because I'm just in a fixed position, and then I try to get out. I'm like, my legs don't work. It's like getting out of a vehicle after you're sitting down and you just get all stiff. So usually I have to have help getting into the house, and then trying to go to sleep that night. And usually the next morning is probably the absolute worst. It's like trying to get out of bed to use the bathroom. I'm like, there's a couple times after Worlds or a really long ultra that I literally have to crawl to the bathroom because my legs don't want to work. I'm like, oh, it hurts so bad.
When you put yourself that hard, that's definitely a factor. I remember that like I would have like thermoregulation issues where I don't know if like you would still have that now because it's kind of remained pretty hot, but is that something that you had to deal with at all this time?
No, this time was the first time that I actually that didn't affect me. Other races in the past, like I'm either shivering or really hot or really cold, like throughout the night afterwards, or usually for a couple days, I'm usually sick. Yeah. Usually after Worlds, after the last few Worlds I've done, like I ended up getting like sickness from it, just from all the water and stuff that I swallowed or whatever. Like I end up getting like a cold or a little bit of a sickness afterwards. But after this one, I was good.
Glad you dodged that bullet, because there was one big thing going around that I know people like was it I think Jill got a really bad case of some stuff. So.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, those we could talk about some stuff about that off the record, but yeah, so glad that you dodged that. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to make that push, whether it be from like 50 to 75 or 75 to 100? Like what advice would you give them?
I feel like the biggest thing is if you're kind of in a rut or you kind of think you hit a ceiling, like get a coach.
Yeah.
Definitely get somebody that's going to push you, that's been there before and knows what you need to do to get to that point. Because a lot of times you just can't do it yourself. Like you think you can structure workouts a certain way, but having that coach there for main thing is accountability to give you that extra push, because there's times in training that you're starting to burn out and stuff like that. And that's the time the coach will be like, all right, let's take a deload week and let's take a week off of really high mileage and kind of recover a little bit. And then we'll start to ramp it back up. And I think a lot of athletes, there's a burnout phase throughout their training that definitely it's hard to get over without somebody being able to push you through that.
I think that's an aspect of coaching that I think a lot of people are missing when they turn to like, AI is getting huge now. Like, oh, I can get my own coach that way. But like a good coach is also to some extent like a therapist, right? Like they have to be able to manage like, hey, like burnout, like what is not all people deal with burnout in the same way, and it affects them differently. So like, that's something that a good coach is able to take into consideration when it comes to coming up with a training plan.
Yeah. And on top of that, working with DJ, like, I mean, I work a regular, like I have a career, work a 9-to-5 job throughout the week. So most of my training is done like at the butt crack of dawn. Like literally I was waking up at 4 a.m. to go on runs or work out. There's sometimes I had to do it after work if I had a double day, where I had to do double workouts but most of my workouts were during the morning, just so at night I could spend time with the family and everything. And I still had to do my job during the day. So it's that balance factor. He was able to work that in. Like I told him, I was like, hey, here's my times and stuff like that. And like he would work with me if we had to shift some things around. He was able to work with me in that aspect of making sure we still got all the training runs in, but also, hey, you still have a life and a family and stuff like that. So
yeah,
because there's some people that just they'll just cancel everything out. And training was a big part of my life, but it wasn't the only part of my life.
Yeah, I saw a post that you're a very something I aspire to. There's no chance of me getting 100 miles, but maybe you're a very proud like girl dad. So like obviously like
yes.
Managing like family life is hugely important too, and it's got to be so difficult to like put in these crazy mileage and training and it's your focus, your passion, but also like being a dad, a husband, whatever else you are. Like it's got to be tough like finding that balance.
It is definitely, for sure. Like I definitely had to be very strategic on how I plan my workouts, my weekends and stuff like that, to make sure that it wasn't taking up my whole life. I wasn't I was still able to be a husband and a father and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a couple days I swear I woke up at 3 a.m. if DJ scheduled a 15 mile run. I'm like, well, all right, they're getting up early. Like I'm tired, but I'll make it work there. That's why I use some caffeine.
Yeah, that's a good tool for the job. What else do you have planned for the rest of the year now?
Well, the rest of the year is kind of taking it easy for that. I don't really have any races planned. I might do some pacing duties or maybe find a race this fall possibly. But I have another big race that I plan on doing in the spring. It's the Keys 100.
Yep.
So that's I'm gonna actually hook back up with DJ probably in September. We're gonna start building again and to get me ready for that race, because I have some redemption when it comes to that race.
Yep. I saw that word redemption. So you said that you dropped out at mile 65 due to a foot issue that you said likely was caused to the shoe change, which we mentioned earlier. I guess what was that experience of like quote unquote like failure like at an event like?
So that race, what year was that? That was 2024. So the main reason I dropped out of that race because I was worried that I was going to do damage to my body or my feet and I knew I had still the whole year left. Like I was doing, well, obviously Worlds that year, and Worlds wasn't until November in 24, and I was just worried that I was going to affect my plans for the rest of the year. Like during that race, like, and I started to have the issues. I literally called DJ. I called him while I was walking. I was like, "Hey, this is what's going on. What are your thoughts?" He was like, if you're in that much pain and you really think it's gonna have a negative effect for the rest of the year, I trust your judgment." So he knew that I would make the right call. He's like, to be honest, if it was my only race that year, I would have pushed through the pain. Right. I would have done it. I would have completed it. But I was like, I can't have this affect the rest of my year. So it definitely was a hard pill to swallow because that was my first DNF. And it was very hard, but I knew I made the right call.
Yeah, DNF's hit hard. I had my first DNF last year, and I pivoted my passion to helping Caitlin train for World's Toughest Mudder. I'm like, oh, the DNF didn't really affect me, but it did. It got to me, so it's tough to kind of pick yourself up from that. It's like, yep, that's now in the past. I've learned from it. Now we got to get back to it, and I'm still building back. But yeah, it can be tough to deal with that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then it sounds like you're not just looking for a finish, but a potential podium there next year. So that's the plan?
Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think I can do it. I was looking at past results, and like usually the top 3, top 5, they're within the past couple of years. It's between like 16 hours to like 18 hours or so. And I think I can get there. I know with the right training, and I mean, I have roads all around me that I run on all the time. So running on roads not going to be an issue. It's just building up the speed. And it's a very flat course. The biggest thing is the heat. Yeah. That I'm going to have to be very intentional on heat training. I plan on investing in a better sauna to work on that. And because most of my training is going to be while it's colder. It's going to be over the fall/winter going into spring. So it'd definitely be a lot of sauna sessions and running with extra layers and stuff. But I think I can pull off a podium spot, which would be very awesome.
Nice. Now, I think I saw that video, that race is in like May. World Toughest Mudder is going to be in June, so probably that's not in the cards for next year.
No, unfortunately, next year Worlds is definitely off the cards, just because this past year it was a very expensive trip to fly with the family to the UK. So I was like, I can't do it, especially since going down to Key West is going to be a little not as pricey as the UK, obviously, but definitely between PTO too. I only have so many PTO days with work. And I took almost 2 weeks, like a week and a half off for Worlds this past year in the UK. So PTO plays a factor, and then money. I'm hoping, I don't want to say I'm totally done with Worlds. Like I'm content if I don't end up doing Worlds again, since I finally accomplished the 100 miles. But if for like 2028 or beyond, if it ends up coming back to the US, I'll definitely consider it, depending on where it's at. But I might do Worlds again if it comes back to the US, but it's out of the cards for me next year in the UK.
And I think that's totally fair too. And all the more reason why I'm so excited for you that you got your 100 miles, because if you got 95, it's still incredible, but like, damn it, you just missed it. And you don't know when you get that chance again. So yeah, that's super excited that you were able to get the job done. So I guess coming to a close, like, where can people follow you on social media, as you're gearing up for some more awesome things?
So on Facebook, I'm just Jeff Lippert. And then on Instagram, I'm Jeffrey, Jeffery _ and then my last name Lippert, Lippert. Perfect. So what's funny is like a lot of people, when I give them my full name, they always spell it wrong, because mostly Jeffrey is spelled REY. So a lot of people spell it wrong, but it's ERY.
We'll make sure to spell it right, because.
So yeah, that's the main place. I try to post. I mean, I don't post a ton, just because there's a lot of times that, I don't know, for some reason I think I'm a boring person. But since Worlds, I realize I've gained like 30 or 40 followers. So I'm like, I need to post a little bit more here about training and stuff, like now that I did really well. So I think over the next, my next training block, I'll definitely need to post more and stuff like that.
Awesome. And then where can, just anyone else that you'd like to thank?
My wife, Michelle Lippert, she's been my rock and my pit crew since the beginning. My sister, Alana, and my daughter, her name's Lizzie, and then my other pit crew, Stephanie, which is my wife's best friend, and then also DJ Fox.
Yeah.
He's been my main man in my corner since 22, and he knew when I gave him my goal of hitting 100, he was on board from the start. And he's definitely going to be on board to help me hit that podium spot in the Keys.
Awesome. Yeah, he's an excellent hype man too, for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Awesome. Well, Jeffrey, great to finally get the chance to talk to you more, and congratulations. We'll be keeping an eye on you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the talk.
Welcome back.
Thank you, Jeff, for taking the time to talk to me. Really appreciated getting the chance to know you.
Did he wear his jacket?
He didn't, no, but you did see that he wore his jacket for the, there's like a wedding.
Went to a wedding,
and then there's also like a work conference too.
That's hilarious. Yeah. If I ever earned an orange jacket, which I won't, I would wear that thing everywhere.
Yeah. It's actually funny. I talked to him. So this interview, full transparency, was done last week, which was nice because got a little break. And I told him like, hey, yeah, I'll never earn an orange jacket, but there is an accomplishment that you did that I would love to do. I got like a 50-50 chance. He's a proud girl dad.
Oh.
So we talked about that for a little bit too.
There's an accomplishment that I would like to do. That's not really an accomplishment.
I don't remember how I worded it, but I mean, that's an accomplishment.
You are your girl dog dad.
That's not the same.
Not the same.
Not the same at all.
Not the same.
Let's see. For related episodes, all the World's Toughest Mudder episodes from this year.
Are you going to make me read them?
Yeah. This is probably definitely the last time that we'll be reading them.
493.
Mike's first High Rocks experience and Caitlin's pre-World's Toughest Mudder thoughts.
Remember when I thought I was going to run World's Toughest Mudder?
I do.
Episode 494.
Grant Thompson on Scotland, UKOCR Endurance Series, World's Toughest Mudder, and more.
Episode 495.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 1, Pit Setup Interviews, and Course Briefing Audio.
Is that where you get to hear me cry, too?
Yeah.
Episode 496.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Event Weekend Interviews and Audio with athletes, pit crew, and volunteers. You can also hear Caitlin cry in that one, too, I think.
Episode 497.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 3. Did he spit on me? Where'd that liquid come from? Oh, wouldn't that be a bad time to find out that the ceiling's leaking? That makes no sense.
No, that makes no sense. I think you drooled.
I don't think so. Nope, check the tape. Nothing on the ceiling. Oh god, that'd be so bad.
I would have had to spit so much.
Where 497 World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 3, Brunch Interviews and Audio.
And episode 498.
World's Toughest Mudder 2026, Part 4, The Bar Crawl. Oh no! I'm missing a colon. Colon after the 4.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to fix that. I also wanted to shout out Will Chung's coverage before and after World's Toughest Mudder on UKOCR. He did an awesome job, even though the interview with me that he did with me seems to have disappeared. But he did have Caitlin on during that episode.
That's nice.
But yeah, I meant to shout out on previous episodes, kept forgetting to shout it out. He did an awesome job and looking forward to seeing him. And you also heard the kind words he said about like wanting to team up.
Yeah, and pace me for 50.
Yes, we will. I want to say
because he wants to go easy.
Yes, I want to say we'll let you know. But Will is in Facebook jail. And unfortunately, yes, I can't reach out to Will or Instagram because it's both owned by Meta. I don't know how to reach out to him.
Twitter?
I don't use Twitter.
X.
You know how I reach out to him?
We should send him a pigeon.
Like snail mail? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how I do reach out to him?
Will, send us your address.
I talk to Fran, and I have Fran talk to him.
Oh my gosh.
So, I don't know. Maybe I'll get your number, Will.
Will, our email is obstaclerunningadventures@gmail.com. Send me your address.
Yes.
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We're Obstacle Running Adventures on all the podcast players. If you like what you heard, leave us a review on whatever podcast player you listen to. Maybe we find it, maybe we don't.
We haven't checked in a while. I'm sure there's a whole bunch from France. Just kidding. Those episodes did not do too well last time I checked. But yeah, appreciate any kind of feedback. You can send it via social media. We're mainly on Instagram.
No, the last review we have gotten
a long time
is when that person was upset at us.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our last review is a 1-star review.
Patreon plug. Please join on the website and not the app, since Apple will charge you additional fees. We could use help getting out of the red from this trip.
Sure.
In terms of like Patreon money, not our financial money. I'm gonna stop putting that part in there. But
yeah. Coming up next,
I reached out to 2 awesome ladies in OCR. Hopefully it'll be an interview with one of them.
Am I one of them?
Nope. Kaylee got a joke or a quote?
My quote is, "Let the wind show you that you're allowed to shift direction and pace." And then my joke is, unlike what you thought was my joke earlier,
Yeah.
is what baseball team do Lions like?
Detroit. Oh, wait, baseball.
Baseball.
Cubs?
Close. Yeah, the Cubs.
Oh, Lions, Tigers, and Bears?
What baseball team do the Lions like?
That's cute. With cute little pictures of them. And,
No.
Yeah.
Do you want another Lion
I
joke?
did see that one, but do that one too.
What do Lions wear to bed?
Pajamas.
Yep.
Cute.
Good job.
All right, well, that just about wraps it up. My name is Michael Stefano.
And my name's Caitlin Ritter.
I don't think I have to edit this at all. And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite podcast platforms
so you don't miss our future episodes.
We would greatly appreciate it if you write a review.
Reach out with feedback on social media.
And most importantly, share the show
with a friend or family member.
Our intro song was Streaker by Straight Up.
And our outro music is I'm Paul by The Best.
Do you know if we've met in person?
I don't think we've ever met in person. Maybe just like passing by and stuff. Obviously, I've seen you filming and doing interviews on course and stuff like that, but I don't think we've ever officially met.
Well, I feel bad because I've been trying to keep an eye out for you, but things get hectic at Worlds. But
it's all good, no worries.
Awesome.
Should I have asked them what 6 and 7 haven't? No.
Yeah,
7 and 8.
7
6.
and 9.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cannibalism? Because like 7, 8, 9, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, no, they're both numbers. And I'm like, well, yeah, but that's not like a joke or anything. And she's like, no, this isn't a joke. This is like a test that they have for like testing for autism. And I'm like, oh my God. I thought it was a joke and I was trying to say a punchline and I missed the thing completely. Yeah, fun stuff.